Come on! Nameco, Dustin. It's been a while since I've done that. Nameco, Dustin here, Fantasy Smack Talk, as we're getting into week 7. I want to start off with saying those fantasy games, make sure you get in them. Thank you to everybody that participated. We had a lot more involvement. Love that. But as stated in the forums and in the video, yours truly came in first. Actually, I tied with Mike, but Fantasy Smack Talk 1, 1A, and number 2, Evan, came in second right behind us. Get in the games, try to beat us. Nobody gets a t-shirt this week, because if we win, you ain't getting a t-shirt. But go ahead, log in, try to beat us.
I'm going to do better this week. I take too many gambles. All right, we got a tip about defenses. At this time of year, decent amount of bye weeks are gone. I like to do the weekly pickup defenses just for the matchups, and I do it pretty much weekly, but as of this point in the year, I normally start carrying 2 defenses, and I stay one step ahead of everyone on the wire. So for this week, I'll have my defense for week 7, and I'll already have my week 8 defense as well, and I'll do that here on out all the way until championship week, because I'll be there. And that's the way I like to do it. I think it's a great strategy. Rather than just riding out the same defense all year, I like to play a decent defense against a bad offense. And one other tip too, use what Vegas does for us. They are very good at what they do
always wins.
as far as making lines, picking the over-unders. If you're ever not too sure about a defense, go and look at the lines. Take a look and see which game has the lowest over-under, and then pick the home team. Now, this is not a foolproof plan. It's just a starting point. This week, it says Oakland is a good play based off that strategy. Oakland is the second worst fantasy defense right now, but I don't think it's a bad gamble. If you're really on a bind on defenses, go with Oakland this week.
And another quick tip, I had Houston. I dropped them for Green Bay. I love Green Bay's matchups the next 3 weeks. They got starting with the Rams and a banged-up O-line this week.
They do have some good matchups coming up. Forum questions. First one from Matt Mann, 109. Running back question. Brent, who do you start, Doug Martin versus New Orleans or Felix Jones at Carolina? 83% are going Doug Martin right now.
Yeah, a lot of people picked up Felix. I understand why. My boy DeMarco got hurt. He's banged up. Jerry Jones already said he's been playing this week. But out of this matchup, I'm going with Doug Martin here, and here's why. I love the fact he's playing the Saints. I think he's going to have a huge game. Everyone runs all over the Saints. I think Doug Martin's going to continue that trend. And Felix Jones, I do like him, but I think he's going to split more carries with Philip Tanner more than people really realize. I don't think Felix is going to get over 20 carries. I think maybe he gets in that 15 to 17 range. I think Tanner's going to get a good handful, 8 to 10, something like that. So it's going to be more of a timeshare, I feel, than most people think. I'm ranking them so. Doug Martin, I clearly have over Felix Jones this week. All right, Dustin from Belcher Boy, number 7. He's got a QB question. He wants to know Cam Newton versus the Cowboys or Big Ben at Cincy. 100% of the community is saying you got to go with Superman Cam Newton.
Well, Brent answered this one in the forums, and he went with Big Ben.
So I answer a lot of forum questions.
He does have the better matchup with Cincinnati. Dallas is actually really good against the pass so far this year, but I think with what Cam Newton can offer you with his legs, I still think he has the bigger upside. He's still the guy I'm going with here. I mean, if he throws in, 50 rushing yards, which, isn't out of the question for him these days, those bonus points right there are just, he doesn't have to throw for 300 yards to have a big week. I'm still going Cam Newton. It's really close, though.
It's close.
All right,
Newton's probably the safer play. I'll give him that as well.
We'll see what happens, but
I'd go Big Ben.
We got one from Conquest for Life. Ryan Fitzpatrick versus Tennessee or Carson Palmer versus Jacksonville. 88% are going with Ryan Fitzpatrick right now.
Yeah, I mean, out of these two, I got to agree. You got to go with Fitzpatrick. He hasn't been playing great as of late, but he's still got Stevie Johnson there. And the thing that I think is really going to help him is C.J. Spiller. I think that Chan Gailey is going to realize that Spiller's clearly the better back, and the offense was much better when he was the featured back. So I see some checkdowns to C.J. I see him getting a lot more involved. Maybe one of those 2-yard passes, C.J. takes it to the house, something like that. I think that Fred Jackson, I'm actually going to rank a lot lower due to this as well. So out of the two, I'm going Fitzpatrick, agreing with the community.
I love the Buffalo-Tennessee game this week. It's going to be a horrible mess.
Who likes that game? Is anybody going to watch that game?
There's going to be a lot of fantasy points in that game.
Are you going to watch that game?
I will. Every bit of it.
All right. That's what we're doing.
I'm Brett, the bet of the week.
Bet of the week! It's Nameco, Dustin, bet of the week here. All right, so this one we're going to be talking about Alex Green. I loved him last week. Clearly, I'm going to win that Starks-Alex Green bet. Now it's just a matter of time. It's the waiting game. So we were arguing about that. I'm even giving him odds as we're continuing it because for some goddamn reason I think Starks. But that led us to the bet of the week this week. I'm saying he's going to get over 8.7 points and a 0.75 PPR. And here's why. He's getting all the touches on a great offense. His head coach has already said he's the guy. I think he can carry a full workload. I think he does. I don't even know if he gets in the end zone, but I think he's going to get enough yards against the Rams this week for me to win this bet. Tell me why I'm not.
The problem here is Alex Green isn't that good of a running back. So I think eventually Starks is going to take back over that job. He's been banged up. I don't even necessarily know I think there's probably some more to this story. I think he was probably in the doghouse for some reason. But eventually they're going to do what's better for the team. Starks is going to be the guy. And I just wanted Brent to put his money where his mouth was with Alex Green. Obviously the upside's there. He's the one getting the carries right now. I said the same thing with Ryan Matthews, and we saw how that, or Ryan Williams, we saw how all that worked out.
Just
had to bring that up.
Like hey, I blame the line.
Let's talk about those sleepers and busts. My sleeper, I'm
still winning the bets, by the way.
I'm going with Kendall Wright at Buffalo. I love that game. I think there's going to be a lot of fantasy points in that game, a lot of points in general. I like Kendall Wright. If you got all bye week issues, he's been the best receiver for Tennessee. He might not be the best receiver for him this week, but I think he'll be a big part of that offense. My bust, I'm going Brandon Lloyd against the Jets. I was never really buying into Brandon Lloyd coming into the year. He's having an okay year. He's having almost about what I thought he was going to do. He was going to be decent, but nothing spectacular. I know Revis is hurt, but I still don't like Brandon Lloyd. The Jets, you can run on them. They're still decent against the pass. I don't know if the Patriots are going to force anything down the field if they don't have to. I'm not liking Brandon Lloyd this week. If you got decent options, I would start Kendall Wright over him.
Yeah, that Tennessee Bills game of the week.
Game of the week.
Let me tell you.
Fantasy game of the week.
All right, my sleeper, and I'm digging a little bit deeper. I got a little bit of hate that I'm not going for that little digging deep for my sleepers, so I'm digging deep. I'm going Donnie Avery this week against the Browns. A lot of teams are on a bye. I actually picked up Avery in one of our deeper leagues, and I'm starting him, and here's why. I think that Joe Hayden's going to be on Reggie Wayne. He's one of the best corners in the league. Andrew Luck knows this, so he's going to have to look the other way, and that's going to be Donnie Avery, who, and Dustin always says I love targets, but I do. And here's the reason. The guy has 48 targets this year. That is as many as Jordy Nelson and Dez Bryant. Gotta love that. He's going to get the look, so you know what? He's a guy that I think maybe can find his way into the end zone this week. My bust is going to be Steven Jackson against Green Bay. I said how I like the Green Bay defense because that line's banged up, so that's one reason I like Jackson. But the other reason is Dustin's boy Richardson. He's getting a lot of run out there. It's basically a 50-50 timeshare now. Jackson only got 12 carries last week. I think that trend continues. If he doesn't get in the end zone, I don't see him having a good week. So he's going to be my bust of the week.
If you didn't watch the waiver wire show, pick up Richardson. All right, let's get into Mike's picks. Curley is his pick for his sleeper wide receiver for the Jets. He's quickly become kind of the main target out there. They're playing New England this week. All signs are pointing to them playing from behind. Look for Curley to maybe get some junk yards in the second half. And his bust is Sean Green. Big week for Sean Green last week, obviously. But the flip side of Curley, with what we were saying with Curley, if they're playing from behind, Sean Green's probably going to be a non-factor, so don't expect 3 touchdowns from him this week. So that's our Week 7.
One more. Dustin didn't want to couldn't say I picked 2 sleepers, but I also kind of like Josh Freeman if you're having quarterback issues. New Orleans, terrible defense. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, you can't pick 2 sleepers.
I'm not. I picked Donnie Avery.
I think that was your second.
Maybe our guys have some quarterback issues. Fix on a bye, things like that.
Well, I'm going to pick 2 sleepers too. I like Ryan Fitzpatrick. There you go. Tennessee-Buffalo game.
God.
I'm Dustin. This is Aimco. So
get in the fantasy games.
Get in those games.
Oh, he dropped it too.